Oh, I got 5:30, Ray.
That's close enough. Yep.
All right, you get your recording on?
It's on.
Order. Pledge allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, call the meeting to order in the pledge. Something I neglected to do last time, I completely forgot about it. My apologies. We need to select a vice chairman of the board. And I'll nominate Mike Pinkham for that.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Like that, Michael.
Yeah. Okay, just a reminder, we do have the select board policy up there. We're going to try to follow it a little bit closer. I'm not going to read it to you, but we're going to try to clip along and keep things on the agenda. Speak when you're supposed to be talking to. One thing we request, if you've got a comment you recognize, please state who you are so we have it on the record as we move forward. All right, any adjustments to the agenda?
Yeah, you do not have a payroll warrant prepared.
No, adjustments to agenda number 6. There is no payroll warrant, so 6.
Just AP only.
6A will take off. There's no payroll warrant. Say that fast.
Only by the seashore.
This meeting. Any adjustments to the agenda? No, okay. So this is items in bold require motions and voted. So we need to vote to accept the agenda? No. All right. Yeah. Approval of the prior minute.
So moved.
Okay, second. Approved. Okay, fine. Okay. Welcome. Okay, we've got treasurer's warrant. You guys had a chance to review the treasurer's warrant? Yep. Move we approve the treasurer's warrant? Yep. Any discussion? Nope. All in favor? Unanimously approved the treasurer's warrant. We'll get back to that. Okay, new business, rec center board. Hi.
I would like to speak. Is it right if I sit down?
Sure, just I announced.
Yeah, I'm Cindy Stanley, I'm co-president of the rec center. And I just would like to clarify a couple of things because it seems, based on discussions at a couple of meetings, it seems we have misinformation. The rec center can trespass an individual from coming into the rec center for a variety of reasons, and we've trespassed people before. But because we trespass people does not mean when the town has a town meeting, they are trespassed. The town is the managing board of the rec center, and the town can trespass somebody, but we in no way infringe on a person's right to vote in a town meeting. So I just wanted that to be clear because it seems some people feel like if they've been trespassed and they can't go to the town meeting and they can't vote, and that is not the case. So I just wanted that to be clear.
Okay.
The only thing the rec board does require is law enforcement because of previous behaviors that we felt were dangerous and could possibly escalate. So that's a visible deterrent. So, so we just wanted to say that. You want to speak to that before I go to the next one? No. The other thing is the $20,000 that we requested. We are very cognizant that this is taxpayer money. We do not frivolously request money. We know exactly where that money is going, and I've been working with nonprofits for a long, long time, and that is one thing that I am adamant about is requesting taxpayers' money. You know exactly where it goes, and we don't just pad the budget. So that is operational money, and Dawn, as a treasurer, can tell you exactly where it goes, and that's how it is. If you have any questions, please just ask us.
Or attend a meeting. Or attend a meeting.
I don't receive.
We brought a handout, I'm not sure.
Don, could you?
Oh.
Announce,
Who you are.
yeah, we're gonna try to stick by the rules, let me recognize you. You don't have to stand up, it's fine.
Well, I'm gonna go over and get these. You guys, I don't think you guys got the handout.
I don't believe so, no.
Don Snow from the Rec Center,
Treasurer.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, anybody else not getting the handout? Okay. I had asked for this time as part of the, Blackboard meeting, and I think it's appropriate to talk to you guys about this, because we've been getting an awful lot of information from that much of it emanates from inside this building. That, we're getting what I consider slander from people speaking and writing at the select board meetings, what people hear in the office, what people hear in the polls when they come to vote, what people hear at the aid-friendly meetings, what people hear at the coffee house meetings. This is all stuff that's emanating out of this building. And so I wanted a chance to rebut some of it. We don't normally get that chance. And so one of the things I wanted to just mention was, what we are and what we are not. What we are is a nonprofit, educational and recreational, nonpartisan, non-religious, private corporation founded in 1958, which has been a center of culture in this town since 1960. And it's an all-volunteer organization. The assertions that we're making a lot of money out of on payroll is not right. It's governed by an elected board of governors, which serves 2-year board term, elected every other June, and we were just reelected. We have a fiduciary responsibility for operating and preserving the facility. Now, if you want to believe the town tax assessor, or if you'd rather believe our insurance company, that's $1 million building. That doesn't include the line. That's just the building. Now, if you were going to go to an airport somewhere and rent a car, a $30,000 car, you would expect to have your driver's license vetted, and you would expect to have to prove insurance or buy insurance for the $30,000 car. But somehow people think they're going to rent $1 million building with no vetting and no lien of responsibility. And so one of the things when we rent a place, when we rent for a private meeting, we expect a damage deposit, a rental fee, and in some cases, like if people are going to use alcohol in a private party, we want a binder on their insurance. And that's one of the responsibilities of a sponsor on a private event. If you're going to have a private event that's not sponsored by the town, and we can't sponsor it because we can't sponsor partisan things, then the sponsor needs to come forward and put forth the surety to ensure our situations. We were asked, we referred to the community for that $20,000. That's what I passed out here, is what we've done in the last year. And financially, about 5,000 of that goes to support the overhead costs of the library and the historical society. That's their heat, insurance, and electricity. We also contribute $8,000 to $10,000 a year from our thrift store operation into the pet fund. So that's sort of a summary of what we are. What I want to address more is what we are not, because we're getting an awful lot of pushback from around the community saying that we do this, we do that. One thing that I've heard a lot of is, oh, we're not needed because the town can have the town meeting in Sumner Auditorium. Good luck with that. Before I spent $12,000 on air conditioning, mainly for the benefit of the town meeting, I spoke to Mike Eastman, said, can we have the town meeting in the Sumner Auditorium. And he said, absolutely not. That he is not permitted to authorize use of district facilities for the benefit of one town. Any event has to benefit all of the towns in the district, and that he would not consider that permanent. So that's, we're accused of being elitist because we charge so much for rental, and I think we got the cheapest rental around, so I don't know where that comes from. We're accused of getting paid. And it's all volunteer operation. I think it says on there we had over 3,000 hours of volunteer time. We hate children, and we're not staffed, equipped, licensed, or insured to be a child care center. I mean, we just can't do that. If children are going to come, they have to drag the parent with them, or some adult supervision. One of the most common slurs that we've been getting is that we deny people's freedom of speech. And I want to address that in a little bit of length here. There's a misunderstanding all over this country about what freedom of speech really is. And there's this delusion that it means that anybody can say anything at any time, at any place. And that's absolutely not true. There's all sorts of restrictions. If you look it up, there's about 8 different paragraphs of restrictions from case law. But the first one you run into is dishonest speech, lies are not protected speech. What you say is supposed to be true. And second thing is, you don't have a right to speak to the exclusion of everybody else.
Don, I don't think you need to tell us what freedom of speech is. What you're just saying, I think you summed it up on the first part, that you're not. Yeah, I mean, you're not. That's not something that the rec center is involved with.
Okay.
That point, so.
And just one quick point, freedom of speech does not apply in private settings. And we are in private setting until we say we're not. So when we say we're not is when we agree with a sponsor that they're taking over the responsibility. Mm-hmm. And that has fallen on its face a few times because people have taken the responsibility and not followed through. But one of the, I'm glad John's here. One of the,
Leave me out of it.
yeah, one of the cases where the sponsor did not take full responsibility for the,
Well, now we're getting into a pissing match,
yeah,
and I don't want to hear it.
okay.
You
Well-
guys might want to hear it. I'm not interested in. No. So.
Well, just to summarize here, our whole country is getting eaten alive by what I consider ignorant and aggressive anger. People are misinformed and aggressively misinformed. And it's an awful lot. It's easy to criticize, it's a lot harder to do something positive. It's a lot harder to make something happen just to get snipe at somebody. So we would invite people who want to criticize to come wag a paintbrush, mop a floor, cook a meal, teach a class, do something positive for the community rather than knocking us down. And if you don't want to do it for us, Mr. Gleason has a whole menu of other places where you need volunteer.
Thank you very much, Don. Appreciate it.
I'd like to comment.
No, we're not having comments on that right now.
I'll save it for my comment.
Thank you. All right, so that is the rec center. Appreciate it. You guys coming in and sharing your views with us. Old business. So road maintenance, Upper Punk Lake. You were gonna
I
mention.
mentioned it to Pete, and he's here, he's gonna go up and look at it.
Okay, you hadn't had a chance yet. Okay. Update on approved, paving stuff. Do we have any start dates?
So I'm gonna call him, I want it done, long before September.
Yeah, so You haven't had a chance, or you?
I figured they'd show up any day. I told them to call me for it.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Well, just so we can notify people.
okay. So he's been aware, he's been turned, hey, we're good to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
And, another
oh,
thing,
sorry,
as far as the paving down the ramp, they do it all the time. We don't need permits, DEP or anything.
okay, yeah, I saw there was it was, on the other side, it's paved down pretty far there on Plan Landing,
Right.
the old one,
Right.
it's paved down pretty far. Okay. All right. All right, on to number 10, town charter petition update. I don't,
That would be the person in charge of the town charter petition,
that,
one who spearheaded this.
that would be, but it made a commitment to him last meeting that we'd talk about it in this
Yeah.
meeting and potentially bring it up for a vote. Do you have any updates on the town charter?
Other than we're continuing, getting signatures, we have over. We got about 6% right now. I do invite the select board, if they want to go ahead and make a motion, just to go ahead and, start a, 9-panel, charter commission. I would be more than welcome.
What did I do? What's on that? See if I can find it. I had it all written out. and Essentially, yeah, I want to bring up a motion. Should the adoption of a new municipal charter be considered, and by order provide for the establishment of a charter commission to carry out that purpose? And what that means is, for the vote, I believe it would be in November, the next election, it would be an item on the ballot. That's what these gentlemen are getting petitions for, that the town would then start the process of creating a charter. And my thoughts on the thing are, if we had come into this job with a charter, our life would be a lot easier. To me, it's a rule book. And I sent Ray a couple examples of different town charters and the state statutes on how to establish a charter. So it starts with one of two things. First thing is, it's got to be voted on by the town. If the select board approves it, to go on the ballot, or in lieu of that, if X number of signatures based on prior election are gathered. So at my point, these guys have been gathering signatures for this thing, and I think it would be a good thing to do. It's going to be a long and it's going to be an expensive process, but it's going to be beneficial, I think, for whoever succeeds us as select board and ongoing in the future. So I'd like to bring a motion up that we should, the adoption of a new municipal town charter should be considered and provided for the establishment of a charter commission to carry out that purpose.
Just one quick comment.
Oh, I haven't asked for comments yet on that part. I have to have it.
Expensive.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm making the motion. Do I have a second to the motion? Need discussion on it?
I got some discussion.
Yeah.
I did a little research myself, and I would have to be proven to me why it's a good idea, because I think that, looking at it, if we want to change anything in town, you can do it with a policy. If you do anything with a charter, everything has to go to a town meeting, and you can't just adjust on the fly. And my personal opinion, I think that's a problem.
Okay.
Because we cannot just take care of an issue. We're not trying to hide anything. As a selectman, I didn't get on here to make all kinds of money at $3,000 a year for the time that I put in. And I think that I'm fiscally prudent. We're trying to do things. I think we're all here to do the right thing. But I believe that if we have a town charter, it's going to cost us money to undo something that we have to do, because a town meeting to vote on something is going to be probably a minimum of $1,000 to make a change. And you can't make a change immediately with that. You can change by policy or procedure, depending on what it is. But with a charter, you can't do that.
Yeah, so I saw that part too, Mike. What that does is limits the flexibility and the speed you can get things done.
Mhm.
And quite honestly, if we sat down and us as a new select board sat down and really put some teeth in some policies and work some policies out, we could accomplish much the same thing to make sure we have everything on file. But again, what that does is, and I think a lot of this has been done before, but it goes away and people lose it and everything else. And everything that I saw in the town charter, we could put in place by a policy. We could put in a policy to recall a select board member. We could put in a policy, dollar procurement limits on policies and that type of thing. So, and it's just a matter of, we can vote on it now, or we can discuss it, we can table it and think about it some more, or we can go, because I respect your opinion too, Mike. I understand where you're coming from. And I was just looking at, I like having having the rule book. I wish I would have had a rule book when I started this. So,
I guess my only other question is in all the municipalities in the state of Maine, and I didn't Google that because I should have, but there's only a few that have actually got charters.
100 out of 400 and
Right.
that's because it's the process. And John, you correct me if I'm wrong in any of this, you know this better than I do, I think. The process is you've got to have 9 members on the charter board. 6 of them are elected, so we have to find 6 people that would be willing to do it. 3 of them are appointed by the select board. 1 of them can be a select board member. And what I'm unclear on the whole process, what if 1 person goes away? Then do we have to start all over again? Do we bring a new person in? And I think what I've been reading about it, the pros and cons. And that it'd be a tremendous waste of time as we go forward on there. But at this stage, what we're saying, do we even just want to put it on the ballot? Do we as a select board, or do we allow the petition process to go on? Well, the petition process is going to go on regardless of what we do.
I'd like to just.
Sure, go ahead, John.
Just real quick, so Mike understands. Policy does not supersede the Maine state constitution. So if you have a policy and the Maine, for instance, like if a selectman isn't doing their job or really not showing up ever, right? So if you have a policy that says if you miss X amount of meetings, that does not supersede the Maine state constitution statute. The only thing under this example is that if a selectman is convicted of a crime, then that selectman can be removed. That's the only situation.
I think, John, that was the case.
But that's just an example.
No, but that was the last one. But the first thing, if there isn't a policy in place.
No,
It didn't say that?
policies do not supersede the Maine state statute. You have to go by, as selectmen, you have to go by the Maine state statute. That's the law. You can create a policy, but it doesn't hold any teeth. By doing a charter and putting your policy in writing into a charter, then what you want to develop in code of conduct and everything gets put into the charter, and it becomes what they call municipal rule. The state cannot, unless it conflicts with the law of the state of Maine, we can rule under our own rule. It's been said for years and years and years, oh, we got municipal rule, but you don't. If you have a charter, you have municipal rule. So you can sit here, create your rules, right? And that's the good thing about a charter. And then having meetings, we can come up with some good logic and sensible rules and policies to put into a charter. Other towns have done that. I'm going to use Hancock for an example. They have a charter. They haven't had to change their charter in any period of time. It's not expensive. It's a volunteer. The only thing is the cost of, pens and papers.
Well, legal
and
review.
Legal review. But I've already got one person involved that wants to be part of the appointed. He is not from this town, but he is a licensed attorney. So he would do that for free. So because he would be part of the charter commission, if we go ahead and decide to create one, then he gets appointed. So that's a lot of ifs. But the only expense would be once we've had our town meeting, which is several. This isn't a quick process. It's gonna take about 2 years for the whole entire process to put together a charter, because we have to get input from the town. So if they want this into a charter, then we have to consider that. Once we get the charter all together, then it goes finally to a vote for the people in the town of Sullivan to decide. So nothing's really written in stone. It's just coming up with a charter that the town would approve and hopefully approve, and a vote. Possibly it would take about 2 years from then to actually go before the voters.
John, I'm gonna withdraw my motion at that point, and I would like to postpone this because I need the answer to a question which I don't know yet, and I can research, and if you could help me on that. What happens if one of the charter members leaves? That's what.
Once you have a charter committee
Yeah.
in place,
Yeah,
the charter committee establishes a chairperson.
Yep.
And then now it's a self-ruling body.
right,
So if somebody quits, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore, the charter commission can now appoint a replacement. Now, if it's one of the elected, it has to be from the town,
right.
because, or if it's one of the ones that are from out of town, then they can be appointed.
What's it?
If it
Yeah,
happens to be a selectman that's no longer,
right, that's my
with
question.
us.
Yeah,
that has turned out,
right,
then he can be replaced by a vote of
Yeah.
the charter commission. That one. So you're not just, starting all over.
I guess I got another question. Why would I want somebody from another town on our charter committee?
Why would you want somebody from, okay, let's say it's a lawyer, for example.
Doesn't make any difference.
and
He's
the
not,
lawyer
doesn't
is
live
gonna
here.
Provide a service for free. Then that would be a benefit to the town, because it wouldn't cost any. Mike, you've already got in your mind, I'm not gonna be able to change.
no, John, stop that part, just.
I'm asking
You're going
questions.
fine, you're going fine.
Why would you want one? Because that's what the state law says. to do. And it's best to follow the main state laws.
All right. So actually, I'll put the motion back on the floor. And should the adoption of the new municipal charter be considered and provide for the establishment of a charter commission to carry out that purpose? Is there a second? No second?
Hang on a second. I got a
Oh,
clarifying
okay.
question.
Yep.
So explain your motion, because if you do that, does that mean that it's going to the voters, and if the voters decide yay or nay? Or,
If we do it, that means they stop their petition and it goes on the ballot in November. That question goes on the ballot.
Okay, so if you kind of, well, this is the way it works. Just like you as select board, they have to take out papers and get signatures to be voted on.
No,
Yes,
The elected ones.
Okay, stop, we're not getting on that point.
but you do have to go out and get people who are nominated. You can nominate.
That's for the charter
yourself,
commission.
right, but what I'm trying to
somebody
figure out
will
is that,
nominate.
what I'm trying to figure out with your motion is that
The first motion is, should we form the charter commission? That's what goes on there. So the first vote is, should a charter commission be formed?
Yep.
John jumped a little bit. You don't do this and the charter commission at the same time. You possibly could if it passed.
Yeah,
Yeah, but this is, should the charter and by order provide for the establishment of a charter commission and carry out that purpose. So that they would vote, should a charter commission be formed to keep,
Okay, so I can go along with the first part.
Yeah.
To have the voters, whether they should be formed, and if the vote is yes,
Then we have,
then we go the process. I don't know if you need the second part of your motion, is what I'm getting at. Because if you put it out there, and if the voters say, yes, we want
a charter commission.
We want a charter commission form,
Yes.
then we go back to the drawing board. We've already got permission to do it.
Yep.
The voters have spoken.
Yep.
Then we
6 people are elected
set up the process.
and 3 people are,
Right,
and those people, we can have a special election to elect those 6 people, and then 3 people are assigned by us.
well, I could go with the first part of the motion to see what the taxpayers say.
That's what it is. Should the adoption of a new municipal charter be considered, and by order, provide for the establishment of a charter commission. That's right out of the state.
So that's the result. Should they do this and by the result, form that commission?
Right,
So if you
so-
vote yes, you'd form the commission.
Provide for the establishment.
Also, clarification. So your motion is to
Is-
ask the voters
Yes,
if they want to do this.
yes, it
So
should.
your motion that you didn't state it that way.
Oh, no, I didn't. This is what would be on the ballot. Yeah.
So how would that motion be stated?
Here.
For the 3 of you to vote on?
Okay. Should a charter commission,
The motion is you move to put the question of what you just said,
To establish.
Yeah.
to establish it to the voters in November.
yes, all right, got it.
That's what you need to say.
I'll make a motion.
Should I get a pen?
Okay, it's already set up in the Constitution and the state constitution. So if you made a motion to, recommend that we follow the statutes of creating a charter commission, that's it.
That's it. I make a motion, we follow the Maine Constitution statute establishing the charter commission.
So back up though, you had a motion, he seconded it, so he's got to withdraw his second,
No, I withdrew the motion.
but he's got to withdraw his second first.
Withdraw
And then you
Then,
can
okay.
make the new motion.
New
And then
motion.
you're,
Now I gotta remember what I said again.
sorry,
No, that's all right, Mike. That's good. We're gonna do this right. All right,
what did you say, Kim?
I said somewhere in there, it needs to say you're establishing it. You are asking the voters if they want to do that, however that is appropriately said.
what was the verbiage you used, John?
The legal verbiage is under the Maine state constitution. I make a motion that we do the process of establishing a charter commission.
I make a motion that I'm following the Maine State Constitution. We start the process.
I'll just listen to the video.
Yeah. So,
Can I say something again here? My personal opinion is that I would like to see exactly what that wording says, John. I don't want to take anybody's word just off the top of their head. You are up to date on it,
Yeah.
okay? But I just want to make sure that we're doing this right.
okay, I move to table my motion, and John, can you bring that to the next meeting?
Yes, I'll print it out and bring it to you probably whenever you want.
So we'll bring it to the next meeting and we can share it.
Well, Mike was the one that requested, I
Sure.
could send it to you in an email.
Okay,
You can look at the information.
not that I'm against it, I just want to do it right, John. I don't want to
Yeah.
get down the road and find out you did it wrong.
I'm all about the,
No, yeah, we know, and you made a commitment, we're gonna discuss as we want to move forward on it.
Yeah.
In the best way possible, and then we'll let the voters decide.
and if we happen to get the signatures before you guys.
Then it's a
decide,
moot
then we
point.
just-
Yep, okay, thank you, John. Appreciate
Thank you.
your time. All right, that was fun. So I'll figure this stuff out by turning down the next whatever, so.
Wow.
All right, so on to town manager report.
Okay, so really quick, we asked for the brush to go back out to bid. There's the ad for the brush to go out to bid. That's for the next meeting, sorry. So it's just, we just changed the date, kept the same stuff. We also talked about, you guys have a copy of it in your folder, logging, driver operator approvals, what they're approved for, what vehicles are approved for, when it expires.
I think specifically one of the, residents made a request for this.
I think, well, John brought the point.
Yeah.
I forget who it came from.
I thought John requested, so I just want to make sure if he got his the copy that he was looking at.
Don, I have a copy for you.
John?
Oh,
Under the driver operator, you requested this last meeting?
How do we know? How do we how do we track it? How do we do it?
I think what we were looking for was the vote or the decision that made it an emergency situation.
No.
Two different
No.
things.
Okay.
No.
This is for drivers,
You, at the end.
vehicle drivers.
Vehicle driver.
So that
Vehicle
doesn't
driver.
need to go to us, I go.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's a requirement.
Oh, no, it was done. This is just, this is a
You
one-stop
asked for
shop
something
sheet.
There, we don't talk about it anymore.
One-stop shop. Boom. Got it. So while we're talking fire, just a note of interest, since July 1st, our fire and rescue department has been on 41 calls so far, including they had a brush fire over in Goldsboro, just over an acre. Didn't lose any structures, even though there was a cabin in the middle of it that they protected. 12 different entities around. So all the surrounding towns that normally respond, plus Lemoyne and Trenton and the National Park Service and Forestry responded to the one incident. So that's just amazing that they can even do all that. Again, fire. I have a request from Marnie Dedman to obtain the old Frank Dedman building sign from Station 2. We have no place to put it up. It is in kind of a state of disrepair. Any objections to giving Marnie the sign?
But you guys, that's.
Well, that's between them.
Yeah.
That's between them.
Yeah.
If he was here, he could speak on it. All right. We also talked about a vehicle policy for the chief's cars. That is it there in hand. While you're reviewing that, I'm just going to address Sharon really quick. I followed up with the county on the reports that you asked for from the ACO. They're still working on it. He told me last week that it will be early this week. So I reached out to him again tonight saying, we're here in a meeting and I'm acting proactively just to make sure. So I'm holding him to task. But he did say he had someone, there's a story, but they're working on it. They haven't forgotten us. So I figured I addressed that to you while they're looking.
By the end of this week.
I think so. I think that's what they're gonna have. At least by what he has said. I already followed up with him today.
Thanks. Yeah.
I sent an email now while we're sitting here.
You're supposed to get it earlier.
Yeah.
If we adopted by the select board. So it's presented with a Sullivan Fire and Rescue Command vehicle policy and make a motion, we approve the policy.
Second.
All in favor? Yeah, you sign it. You never get signed first.
Okay, with that, while you're thinking about stuff, We need nominations for the Spirit of America Award and Citizen of the Year Award. Okay. We need Spirit of America Award.
We need this like tonight.
It's a quickie. It's easy.
Think about it.
We're thinking about Bonnie Sparks.
Oh.
Yep. So, any objections to that?
No.
Okay. So we'll do that. That's not really, that's just an informal type of thing anyway. There had been discussion in the past about the telephone poles at the playground. Those 2 telephone poles there.
No, just the polls themselves.
Just the poles themselves and what we'd want to do and what the story is about those. I don't want to have to make a decision this second. I think we should consider doing something. The individual who has the ability, who has been asked to take the poles away, who says, yeah, I'll take the poles. Said, you guys, well, you can keep the poles there if I get the wire work to connect back from Versant. The one thing of interest is that when we do any kind of events there, we don't have any power. We don't have anything for lighting if we wanted to do lighting. It's hard to do. We don't have any, we're kind of like floating in the wind. We try and do any kind of event there. You need something portable, you need something battery operated. So I'd like to see if you guys want to consider going ahead and doing that, keeping those.
Definitely. Not sure.
I can find out I can find out what it would cost to get the wire work done. And we can take it from there.
But we don't have to do the wire work right away.
No,
until we know
no.
what's
If
going
we
on.
know what's going to happen there, we say, yeah, no, we'll do that. And you know, the guy that's not taking the poles, which would save us a whole bunch of money, find out how much that would be. I'd like to find out what that is before we go forward. But I think based on past experience, we could use a little electric out there. So that could really help us out. You know, locked outlet boxes so we can, at different events and whatever, we can plug in and do things. You know, it'd help us out for fall festival and stuff like that. So I'll get some work done on that thing. Also I'm looking into our phone bill went like through the roof here. Fidium is the parent company of Consolidated Communications, and they have sought fit to double, and I say just straight out double the cost on phone bills. We're now at $535. They're charging us for long distance. Amazingly, month over month, the bill is the same amount. I don't know how we call the same people month over month, but the bill is the same exact dollars and cents month over month. I did reach out to Spectrum Enterprise to see what they have for a price. And after talking to the gentleman that does our security cameras in here, they both came up with, they're within $5 of each other, but bringing it basically down to $240 from $540. I'll take the $300 savings.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Spectrum.
The Spectrum or our guy that does security.
Apparently this phone's good.
The one benefit that we get with this, either vendor new system, since it now operates on an internet connection, what you could do here is you can receive a fire department call here. It won't ring to an empty phone. It could ring here, and you could transfer a call there. So it leaves you with no empty lines, which is kind of nice when people are in a non-emergency or they think they should be calling the fire department and no one's there at the building.
Is it under the Fidium system, when power goes out, do the phones stay on?
Oh, no.
Okay, they go out as well. So,
Oh,
yeah, all right.
So there's the pros and cons to all of that. If we do the phone system here, so it ties into something else. Our camera system here in the building we're having a problem with the hard drive on it. I've been getting an error message for the past 3 or 4 weeks. I sent him a screenshot. I said, what's this? He goes, ooh, hard drive's dying. You get a couple months left on this thing and the hard drive's going to die. He goes, I could replace the hard drive. He goes, it's an older unit. He says, those are a little more expensive to replace. I said, and? Because there's always an and. So the and is, well, there's a new system. He says, putting that controller in there would cost you the same as replacing just the hard drive. So, well, can I use my cameras that exist here? He says, nope, of course not. So I got a quote from him to replace that, which we have to replace. which comes in at $900 just to replace that. I said, well, let me know how much it is to replace the cameras. And if we're gonna do anything here, we should add, if you don't have a camera at the other entrance. We should, because at the time it was like, let's just do this. We could add a camera across the roof to the other entrance. Let's see what that's gonna cost. So all in all, that ends up being $3,000 to redo this building. I had to do something no matter what. So it's either gonna cost us just about $1,000 to get the old system updated so we can still use it, or go up to the 3,000.
You're gonna save $250 a month by switching, so it's gonna pay for itself.
In the end, it's, you know, and the two systems tie into each other. So then I end up having, I can view cameras remotely. It definitely upgrades from what we have now.
In the amount you think it's.
So,
Good.
so I'm thinking that's what we got.
That's under your purview.
Yeah. Exactly. We savings on the one thing gives me that and the other,
Yep.
and everything kind of ties in together. That is that. I also got a quote on putting cameras in that building on the firehouse on Tunk Lake Road. The one thing about that we can do down there is we can add in a temperature sensor. You know, if the building, like no one delivered oil, temperature's taking a dump, I can know it from somewhere else. And I don't have to go in the building and find a frozen truck. I can add sensors in to know when the door is open, someone's gone inside, things like that. That building comes up at like $4,000 as an install. That's a fresh install. That's 3 cameras in the building, but it's fresh install, fresh everything.
Right now, there's no cameras. On
There's
that.
nothing there.
How many dollars of taxpayer money is sitting in that building?
Right now, the new big truck is valued at a $750,000 replacement.
Yep.
And that's the one vehicle.
Well,
So
Yep.
if you'd like to sit on that for a bit, you let me know. You want to make a move on that, let me know.
Does that come out of the budget or $5 budget or?
well, the camera maintenance.
Oh, here is here.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the fire station.
You guys could decide that.
Well,
You know, I do have money budgeted for their buildings, and I do have money budgeted for town buildings. This is a town building. We could, you know,
yeah, the maintenance out of the building budget. I think
Yeah.
it's appropriate, yeah. Out of the fire department building budget, yeah.
so
I think you gotta move forward on, we.
Okay.
Question is, do we need a motion on both of those, or is that,
No, this is all within his purview,
okay?
everybody knows.
Yeah.
All right.
The only reason I say for motion is to cover your back.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the only reason I
Yeah, I,
bring that up.
yeah.
So,
No, that's a-
other than no, the next thing we have kind of volleys into that young man in the back of the room. So I will yield the floor.
Okay, so we're going with the harbor master report. Yeah. State your name for the, you don't have to stand up.
Okay, Harbor Master, Alan Dowdy. Got trapped off the wharf.
Bonnie, you're happy.
Oh, Bonnie was, yeah,
Yeah.
Bonnie wanted.
Got the old trap off.
Yeah.
Wanted to have been there forever. And I took them to a place called Traps to Treasures and to Ben, they recycle apparently and actually they don't go back into the ocean and all that fun stuff. So, I think you guys have this paper.
Yeah, your harbor master report dated July 20th.
So I know we've all spoken about Tony Tozer doing the work down there. Sergeant Mike, because he's just there, well, this guy here, but. So I just came up with really, really rough estimates. That was what I kind of thought off the top of my head. Obviously, the 5 to 8 yards of riprap's probably a high estimate, I'm sure, whatever he can fit in the dump trailer, plywood he's gonna bring, so. That's $35 per yard for McQuinn's. He had, I know this was a mistake on his part by sending the last bill to Roger Wakefield instead of the town, and he messed around and never got it, or he did get it eventually, but he just wanted to make it simple and trade 2 years of his mooring fee, which is $400 a year between his 2 moorings. He didn't really mention the 2 years. I kind of said 1 to 2 years as like, you know, in case he's, I want to make sure it's fair for him. He's gonna be,
If we do that, and I don't have a problem, but I want to document it.
okay,
So written up somehow in amount
of course, so.
from this date to this date.
Yeah.
If you guys don't have any issues with that. Yeah, I know it.
I think it's pretty fair. He's, you know, he's taking his time to do it, like it down here, the current one, bringing the material, and I think it would be a hard chance to find a
Yeah.
better deal at it.
Yeah, I think we're all right with it. Just make sure we document it
Yep.
in case something happens to you or something happens to him.
Yep.
Yeah, we all leave and Donnie's the only guy in town.
Yeah.
He needs proof that he's
Yeah, and the
good.
new harbor master comes up and says, give me my fees and.
And then, Roger Wakefield's one that got the concrete ordered last time. We were speaking with him about that again. We're supposed to be getting an estimate, me and Ray are, from Folsom about the concrete. I know it was $900 last time. We did it like 3 or 4 years ago.
3.
No idea what it's, you know, it could be more obviously with everything else, but that was another rough estimate, 900 to 1,500, so.
Yeah.
My total was coming in at that between 1475 and 2580 for it.
Would Donnie you'd be willing to do the same thing? Because we've got money in the budget for the harbor maintenance, for the town landing budget as well.
I still haven't spoken about it. I can ask him, I don't know if you want to do that or not, but
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, because that's in bad shape too.
Yeah, because I've seen it, it'll be definitely next summer. Yeah, yes.
Good.
Thought we'd start with that, but Donnie's ready to do it, so as long as you guys are okay, he's ready to get to it, and
Yeah, if you've got money budget for it,
Mhm.
it's your call on that one. So,
I say yes.
yep, all right. You guys okay? Yep, we don't need to vote on that. Yep.
And another thing, maybe, the concrete truck is lined up for Thursday at 1.
Okay.
So is there any way we could maybe keep people off of it for like 3 or 4 hours? Maybe it's an announcement on
Facebook, the communications committee.
Thursday at 1, they're planning to be, yep. So,
It'd be worthwhile to throw a sign up there too.
I got a little barricade. You can put a couple of those out there.
Oh, we've got some, we've got the traffic cones down in the
yes,
basement.
perfect.
Oh, but I had the long like
Okay,
traffic barricades. You could put a couple down there at the top of the ramp and
Okay.
keep them away.
yeah,
One more thing,
Yes, sir.
it's not a big deal, but I probably need to talk to Ray about it, but there's a sign at the wharf that says, if your dog brings it in, please take it out, and people have been leaving bags of feces at the top of the boat ramp, and I don't know who it is, because I'm not there in time to see it, but if we could have done the sign from there, and I'm sure one of the down landing would be good.
Poop signs.
hey, pal. Move on to East Friendly Sullivan.
Coordinator for East Friendly Sullivan. And I've given you guys the report for hopefully our June data. Usually I'm reporting to you guys on a lot of June data in here, but I'm also, we're halfway through July, so I've got some updates for you there as well. Music in the park has really been the noisiest thing we've had going. We've had over 100 folks at the last 3 events, so it's grown from a handful the first year to over 100 at each. So it's very fun. If you haven't been, please come out. We have our last show on Wednesday, weather permitting, of course. Always weather permitting.
Right now, the rain's forecasted to be done by then, right now.
Okay, like as long as it's not soggy.
So it'll be wet grass.
So we'll look at it. But anyway, so we'll have band from Eden, and I promise they'll probably be dancing. So should be out there. Should be a good time. But these have been really well attended. So when you think about 300 residents so far in the month, and it'll be closer to 400 residents getting value from it, that's pretty good use of town time and resources. So that's going quite well. Our June meeting was slightly attended with 8 people. And we didn't have a meeting in July. Birthday cards are still going out to between 80 and 90 people a month. Delivering commodity food boxes and assisted rides. It's gaining a little bit more steam, not a lot. We're really serving 1 household currently, but we are recruiting for more volunteer drivers. So if anyone is interested in providing rides to community members, get a hold of us, let us know. Misty is still very busy with, helping folks that, you know, are having challenges with home repairs and things like that. So she's working with between 5 and 10 folks a month. We're still doing coffee house twice a month and pretty well attended. And anywhere between 5 and 10 people. I think in these warmer months, people are kind of staying home, but we'll see where that goes in the fall. They does tend to be a little busier. The ladies out lunching still, raucous group once a month. So good attendance there. Really happy to see those ladies out doing that. Communications, we're continuing to grow our presence in social media and getting the word out about education and programming and things that we're doing. So give us a like and a follow if you're able, and check out the things that we have going. We're at a somewhat light, relatively light month in terms of views and followers and content engagement in June, but July numbers are well above anything we've done so far, and we're not even another month. So a lot of that's driven by music in the park. So upcoming events, still have bone builders happening. Our monthly meeting, the 5th of August, will be a hospice of Hancock County, and that's a topic of interest to anyone. Coffee house is still going. Ladies out lunching will be at Black Sheep August 14th, and we have one more performance of music in the park before we then hand off the music theme and the festival to the Sullivan Days. So, any questions?
Thank you, Kim. I think that was a perfect lead into Sullivan Days.
Putting forward, so there's a flyer for a table too, updated the flyer with Bonnie and people events. The flyer they had the corporate cookies that came in, to public the music and the front stage. And the last release is coming to that, Tuesday is coming to that for what? Cover everything you need to cover. So we've got the music and we covered it. And then I just Friday night to see all the great donations we've received so far to the raffle table. Each put out vendors because they're still coming in, definitely about 32 vendors. That's not kind of demonstrators. So the project is full for Saturdays. We're talking for busy people this is the next 10 days. What you're done.
Last year, Ray and I put a big banner up. You guys want to put that up again?
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
posters still there, you guys?
Yeah, it was up there.
It is up there. I can see it from here.
It's up
Okay.
there. So let's gotta go up and let's meeting small, if anybody wants to join us, who wants to help out.
All right, thanks, Yvette. Any comments on Sullivan Days? All right, well, that's public comment. Any public comment?
Hi,
Oh.
Sharon Barron, same old story. I heard, and that a lot of positive, that Mr. Smith purchased property adjacent to him with a trailer, that he's closed on that property.
We have not received official communication of an official transfer, but I heard rumor.
Positive. So I'm hoping that will get cleaned up, and he's capable of that.
Yeah, that he has to, if that is him that bought that, he has to clean it up. There is no, maybe.
All of those things, and to clean that up will be a blessing.
Mhm.
And it will give you the opportunity for permits and inspections, and what are you gonna do with that? But it also exposes the skate park and the playground to his animals that need to be in a physical fence along that area. And, you know, it's got to be done. So it's the same old story with a new twist to it, a new chapter. But, I mean, there's a lot of positives there. A lot of positives. But it's gonna take some diligent follow through to make things work. Because you can't undo it with him once he's done something. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Oh, sure, I have one. John Keenan.
You get 2 extra seconds too, John. Go.
Okay, thank you. Real quick, I don't know what to make of, Don's note, presentation this evening. Didn't really make a lot of sense, but, this is my comment. It's on topic. It's on agenda.
Good.
Okay. Couple of the things is, he talked a lot about we. I don't know who we is. So if he wants to clarify, I'd be more than welcome. No, the other gist of it, let go all the, I don't know what you're talking about, but what I got from it was it's a private organization. It's a private setting, quote, a private setting, which is the rec center, which leads me into the Maine State Constitution under session law, statutes, Title 30A, Subpart 3, Chapter 121, Subchapter 2, Subsection 2524, Paragraph 6, Paragraph 6C, that states under the law that it has to be reasonable, accessible to all voters of the town. That's our annual meeting. So it has to be accessible. It cannot be controlled by a third party under the.
That was addressed before you came. You can listen to the tape later.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, that was before you came in. It was addressed, I thought satisfactorily.
Yeah, and I get caught up right here.
Yeah.
But the thing is we got enough time now before our next annual meeting. Okay, if somebody, it's a private setting, so that they can trespass anybody. If they trespass one of our voters, now one of our voters can't be legally accessible to that property. We can have it in our town. We can have it up to 25 miles from our town if we can't find a venue in our
You
town.
addressed that. Yeah, it was.
Okay,
addressed.
I missed all that and everything.
Mhm.
So I'd just like the board to seriously consider a different venue, maybe a brand new town hall. But we'll get to
Where's
it.
that?
I got one in my pocket.
So that takes care of that. Now, I'd like to make a comment on the harbor master report, which was pretty cool, except for one thing. He's got in writing, no offense to the harbor master or Donnie Tozier, but it does say he'd like to trade a year and a half worth of mooring fees for the work he's doing with his excavator. That is called quid pro quo. So I recommend that be better if he sent you guys the bill, you paid for it, and you guys send in the mooring fees, he pays for it. If it's the same thing, great. But trading one thing for another, that's called quid pro quo, and that's illegal, especially in the town of Sullivan. So other than that, I wanted to make a comment, something I brought up in a previous meeting when they passed the ordinance, which is the location of the Flanders Bay marker number 3.
Right.
As long as it didn't involve, there's one spot where it's called the Great Rock.
I've got
It's
that.
on my deed, as we got access to more ships. They have it there. Technically, there's only one spot that's deep enough, and that's just right off the rock itself, where it's deep enough to moor. but it should not be included at one spot right off of the Great Rock into Flanders Bay, because that is actually over code. So if the harbor master looked into that, that would be great.
No, I haven't had a chance to talk to him about
I
it. but I
got
do have
20
it
seconds
down.
left.
Sorry. Yep.
Keep it in my time. And since I missed the first part, this is a FOIA request. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the clerk. And that's to get a copy of that recording.
Oh, it'll be on YouTube tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need that. YouTube tomorrow.
I still would like. So it gets into the.
Oh, yeah, John, one other thing you requested last week, and where he's had available for you, you requested his justification for emergency for the fire department
Yeah,
stuff.
there was a lot of people asking for that.
Yeah, well, you specifically requested
Yeah.
for it, so he's got that available for you.
Yeah, I'll get that to you at the end of the meeting.
Thank you.
So, all right.
Thanks, guys.
Now,
Board comments.
Oh, thank you so much.
all right, any board comments?
No.
Mike, right? Action item list, I sat down with Ray last week. Any follow-up? Tree trimming RP, trailers in Moose Lane, what do we found out? They
There's a
responded?
reply back from DM&J, but email was sent out to them.
I know you sent it, but they still haven't responded back.
No, I'm gonna talk out to the owner this time instead of the guy that I was doing business with.
Okay, got some training for the office staff, you're gonna be closed.
In September.
Oh, it's in September?
September.
September, okay.
There is training this week.
Okay.
But the other thing you were talking about that is in September.
Anything from Ray on the key on the park shed?
I haven't seen him to get a key,
Yeah, I
but
haven't.
yeah,
See it. So
Wow.
there's that shed at the park that they've got there. We thought maybe we could store some speakers and stuff from Age Friendly, so we're not calling them over here every time. Ray said he thought there was room in there and he's gonna get a key made for us. Put stuff in there. So, all right, that's all I've got on my action item list. We'll follow up. All right. Oh, so pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056F. I move we adjourn to executive session to discuss confidential records. All in favor? All right, make the move to return to regular meeting session. Okay. All in favor? Motion approved. All right, so executive session actions, one of the select board members is going to talk to one of the town residents or resident, regarding one of the addresses in the town and go back to us in 2 weeks. So with that done, I move we adjourn.
So move.
Any discussion? No. Okay, all in favor? We're done. All right, thank you, gentlemen.